I can hear you. Yeah, definitely, buddy. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Bleed Big Blue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW.
I'm actually pretty happy. I'm a couple of the younger guys on the roster so far have been playing well, gotten their names in the paper. People have taken notice, and so far so good. No injuries, nothing crazy. So far so good, right? I mean, except for this whole contract nonsense, everything seems to be moving along. My biggest question from the first 3 days of practice really is the defense that good, or is the offensive line that bad? And that's a question that we're really not going to know until they start playing other people. But right now, no injuries. So that's the main thing, right? We say every year, no injuries, and so far so good, except for Sam Beal. Yeah, I don't. No, when you go through this roster, there are certain names where, I mean, you never want to see anybody get hurt. But if you had there's around probably 12 or 13 names that would be devastating for this team right now. And as long as it's not any of those guys, if you could bring those guys into the season, then you got a fighting shot to win some football games. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's too serious, but it looks like he did it making a hell of a play. Did you see the play that the kid made? He turned around. He turned around, played the ball beautifully, went up, got the football against the bigger receiver, and then looked pretty quick returning it. You don't know if maybe he tweaked it at the end, pull it up. But hopefully it's nothing serious, because over the last 3 days, that's my guy, D squared. I've been saying that they need him to step up. If the slot corner position is huge in the NFL, and I think he's a guy that can play it well. Hopefully he's okay, and so far he's produced and he's played well in practice. So fingers crossed, because a hamstring could linger. So let's hope it's nothing too bad. Oh, call in. Guys, Marco's having some technical difficulty. He had, all right, so here's what happened, right? Marco went on vacation with his family, I believe, and his laptop got stolen. So, or it got misplaced, or something happened. But he ended up, I think, getting it back. And then he had to reboot it, or it was something crazy. So now he's trying to get everything situated and up and running again. So, it is what it is. It's better to have these problems now and I'm out during training camp than to have these problems during the regular season. So stick around. We're going to get another voice on. But, as of right now with the Giants, again, no injuries, nothing crazy to those major players. It's nice to see Beckham producing on the field. And a lot of you guys want to talk about Odell and the contract. I'm sure we'll get to that when Marco gets on live. But my main concern, guys, right now is the offensive line. So far, there's a lot of reports that the defensive line is coming in waves, that they're putting a lot of pressure on the Giants offense right now, that they're attacking and they look great. And that's all fine and good. You would hope the defense is ahead of the offense at this point. And technically, that's the way it happens, when a new scheme is placed, put in. The defense is going to have a lot more. I
am back. Interrupting you.
Hey, Marco. What's up, buddy?
Talking about
I was
defense?
talking about the defense coming along a lot quicker. And anytime you put in a new scheme, the defense is going to come along a lot quicker. And so far from the reports, the defensive line and the front seven is dominating the Giants' offensive line. And how much of that is to be expected because this is all new, and how much of that is because the Giants' offensive line maybe really isn't as good, as a lot of people have thought they were going to be. And maybe that's making the defense look that much better. I don't know. We're not going to know until they play other people, until there are other teams a game plan for them. But that's a question I have so far. That's my main question so far, because that's huge. You can have all the weapons you want on offense. If you can't block,
stop.
if your line's a sift, you're done.
I think I'm buying in, though. I think I'm liking this team. Every day I see a little bit more, and I'm like, hey, that was a question mark. Then ticks off that box. Maybe they could do that.
Well, you know what's encouraging?
Landon Collins comes screaming in on the blitz, and who picks it up and brick walls him? Saquon Barkley. That's
those
are big things.
Beautiful things. For me, the things that I'm loving to see, I love the Dante Dion piece. I love the Haley kid that is making plays, because to me, the thing has been depth, right? I said that I want to see the kids that are going to make a name for themselves and earn a spot on this roster. So far you got, I believe his name is Grant Haley, who's coming out of nowhere and has moved up the depth chart a little bit as a cornerback. Dante Dion has looked good so far. Curtis Riley, another guy that we didn't really mention coming in here, has all of a sudden, started playing well and is getting reps opposite of Collins. So, you're getting production out of these young kids. That's where this roster, that you have these other pieces in place. Who are these other guys that are going to come along to complete the puzzle? And, it's nice to see some of these kids stepping up and making plays and trying to make a name for themselves.
And you know who I see making some plays with a big arm?
Davis Webb.
I know you saw it.
Bro, he's slinging it. He's got some arm, right? I mean, he's frozen, roping it.
40 on the run. 40 yards on the run.
Did you see the other throw, too? I mean, there's two that were posted. I don't know who posted them on Twitter, but there were two that were posted. One was the 40-yarder, which was a frozen rope on the run to the right. The other one was more of maybe a 20-yard throw, 15 to 20-yard throw, but a frozen rope to the left. I mean, you can tell, and those were from a distance. You can tell who's throwing the ball just from watching the ball and the way it comes out, because they have nobody on the roster that can throw it as hard as he can. And that includes Eli Manning.
Yeah, he is. It was impressive. Oh, Seattle agreeing with. Looking like a pro. C&M. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not.
If he does pan out, if he does pan out to the back, like a legitimate backup to next QB of the franchise, the pick of Saquon Barkley is dynamite.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's what we wanted to see going into, and that was our whole thing last year, right, Marco? It's like we didn't have a problem with Saquon. We just didn't know what the hell we had on the roster as compared to what was coming out in the draft. I mean, it had nothing to do with Saquon as a player. It had to do with the value of the second pick. But you're right. If you end up with Webb, now the question then becomes is when do you play him? Because if he's that good, I've seen a lot of Eli underthrows, and I've seen a lot of Eli, guys making plays on balls that Eli throws as compared to him really hitting him in stride. Even the Saquon little screen the other day that I saw, he made a really nice move up the field. He got around maybe 15, 20 yards before anybody touched him. It was legit. but he took the ball off the ground. I mean, he had to stop and bend down and
pick
the
it up
ball
behind
off
him.
the grass to So and when I say that Webb has a stronger arm than Eli Manning, and by it, I do not mean that Davis Webb is a better quarterback than Eli Manning. It's two completely different things. So I'm not saying that Davis Webb is going to take his job or he should take his job. What I'm saying is that what you want to see is natural progression from a kid like Webb, and what you're seeing is that you're seeing quicker reads, you're seeing the ball come out faster, you're seeing confidence in his throws, and that's encouraging because
you're seeing hard work, you're seeing dedication, you're seeing guys who's looks like the effort is there to learn the craft.
Yeah, the hard work he put in the offseason paid off. Remember 2 years ago when we said we were so excited that Hart and Flowers decided to stick around the offseason and put in the work, and now we had to see if they were right?
Yeah.
Well, they were wrong. I mean, and so far it looks like that they're right because Davis Webb is progressing nicely, and I think that it's in his benefit that right now he doesn't have to worry about starting. He can just worry about getting better every day.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on the O-line.
No.
From Rude 3603.
He's drinking the Kool-Aid on the O-line. How? What Kool-Aid are you drinking? Is it poison? Because so far they're getting destroyed. And you hope that's because the defense is legit. I mean, that's what we're going to see when they start playing other teams. Is you hope that, and that does not mean preseason games, guys. So let's not get our hopes up in a week or so when they play, the Browns for a quarter. We're talking about on Sundays. So we're not going to know until teams are game planning and you're got to produce for a 60-minute game. I have questions about the offensive line. I had questions about them coming in. I think Solder is, okay. I don't think he's an all-pro. He's never been an all-pro. Flowers is
better
Flowers.
Than what we had.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely better than what we had. But, for what we're trying to accomplish, is he the guy to get us there? Now, I don't know. He was on the Patriots, so it's not like he hasn't been on a team that's gone to the Super Bowl, but how much of that is Brady and Belichick and how much of that is Nate Solder? Flowers is a huge question mark. I don't think anybody knows what we're going to get from Flowers until the bullets really start flying. The other thing is, Marco, is if God forbid something happened to Solder or if Flowers can't produce, who are you going to? Like there's no one. There's no one else. And God forbid somebody gets hurt. Now, I love Hernandez. Don't get me wrong there. Center's still, a question mark, so to speak.
I think that has to go on to Jalapeno.
Yeah,
Jalapeno, Jalapeno.
You would think that that's the way it's going now. But, really, like, what do you know? Or are you really that confident in that guy to produce for 16 games? I think Hernandez might be the most, when you look at it, Hernandez might be the most solid guy on the roster on the offensive line that you say, I know what I'm getting from this kid. He has huge upside. The other guys, to me, are all question marks, all, including Solder.
I'm a little more upbeat than that. I think they're going to be okay.
They got to be more than
they get rolled up, they get nicked, they get dinged.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be deep, man. I mean, you're going to be looking at a situation where you got Wheeler playing. I mean, that's tough, man. I mean, that's tough. I mean, to depend on these guys in a regular season, maybe in a spot here and there on a series, somebody gets banged up, they need a couple of plays off. But, to depend on them for, a chunk of time, God forbid. Because that, if you can't, and we've seen it over the last, you could have all the toys in the world. But if you can't solidify the line, if you can't, man up and get 3 to 4 yards of carry and put Eli in a situation where he's not, sitting duck back there, you're in trouble.
But this, good thing, we're only 1 weekend. We're still in camp.
Well, nobody got hurt. So it's nothing means anything right now. As long as the reports are this and the reports are that, but as long as nobody gets hurt, none of it matters. You have a full 5-6 weeks to get better before the bullets start flying. So right now, you just show up every day and you just pray that you don't get an update on your phone that somebody got rolled over or somebody rips an Achilles or anything like that. You just, keep getting better, keep showing up every day, keep playing, and then, let the chips fall where they may, on September 10th when they open up.
All right, you ready? You want to hit the phones up a little?
Yeah, we got people calling in on a Sunday night. Let's do it a little bit. We're going to be on for an hour or so.
Sunday night, ready, 862. What's up, caller? Are you there?
Hello, welcome. Hello, Big Blue.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, brother? What's your name?
My name is Christian Jones. I am from East Orange, New Jersey. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Giants football. I believe I am the one from Twitter account who asked if you guys were going live today.
Oh, Chris, what's up, buddy? How you doing, buddy?
Now, I have a question. Well, technically two.
Shoot.
Number one, is Captain Negative on the show today? Because I got a bone to pick with you, my friend.
I'm right here, man. I'm not far. You don't got to go searching for me. What's up?
All right. Number one, first of all, I will agree that I'm going to be a reasonable but very optimistic Giants fan by saying, yes, the offensive line is still a work in progress. I, for one, am more optimistic just because even though I don't believe Nate Solder is a top five offensive lineman at left tackle, I do believe that he is a legitimate top 10 left tackle in this league. He's not a Tyrod Smith or Jason Peters or Trent Whitworth or the now retired Joe Thomas, but I think he's definitely a top 10 left tackle in this league. And the fact that the Giants finally got someone to man the position, to me improves the offensive line by at least 30% alongside Will Hernandez. Also,
Chris, you know what I think about that? You know what I think about
go
that?
ahead.
I am in 100% agreement with you.
What?
It's better than what we had.
Become best friends.
Yep.
But who wouldn't agree with that? I mean, you could have put me in there for a left tackle, and it would have been an upgrade over Flowers. I mean,
true, but
come on.
True, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no, you're fine. Keep going, buddy. We'll talk. I'm taking notes. You're good.
There's not many top 10 left tackles that are just going to be lying around.
No, but here's my thing about Solder. Okay, it's not. We know what Solder is. He's a solid left tackle. He's never been an All-Pro, right?
No.
So he's never been a top tackle. So he's a good, solid left tackle. He's 30+ years old, right?
Yeah.
And the Giants made him the highest paid left tackle in the league. So
Not
thing wasn't. Well, not now, but it's the second highest paid left tackle in the league.
There you go.
So my thing was more of the contract to the player that you're getting. I thought it was desperate of the Giants to offer him that deal because it just screamed there was a need for the position, but there were multiple ways to go about trying to get somebody to play left tackle. And what the Giants did was they just threw money at it. They overpaid for the guy. Is he better than does he make the line markedly better? Yes. Does that say much right now? No, because the line was god awful last year. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens against Jacksonville. Let's see how the line progresses through preseason, how they get better. But let's not start, giving this team the rushing title yet. Let's see what happens.
No.
Chris, what was your second thought also?
Yeah, because we got these other people.
And this is more of a question rather than a review. But what do you guys think is going to be the most improved part of our whole defensive unit? Because personally, I think, at least on paper, this is the best linebacker core that I've seen the Giants had in at least 5 to 10 years, maybe.
Yeah, I think that I would agree with you there, Chris. I think that if you ask me, and I think that the potential to get better because of the things I've read about Carter so far, I'm pleased about. I think anytime that you take a kid in the third round, you're hoping to get production right away, and it looks like they may get that right away from this kid. It looks like he's learning, he's saying the right things, he's surrounding himself with the right people, the veterans, and so far he's playing well. So when you go to a 3-4, you better get a ton of production from your linebackers. And so far, look at them on paper. You're 100% right. They're the most intriguing unit to see what they can do and where they can go and how much they can get better, how much havoc they can wreak on the field. I agree with you. I think it's the linebackers.
Yeah,
right.
but also, think of it this way. The linebackers were horrible the past 5 years.
They better be
Slight
better.
improvement
You're right.
is going to make it look better.
And also last question before I go off the air. We know, at least we hope that the starting linebacking core is going to be Ogletree, BJ Goodson, and most likely Olivier Vernon. Who do you think is going to be that fourth outside linebacker in our 3-4 team? Carter,
I hope it's
Martin,
Carter.
or
I hope it's Carter because I think Carter has the most upside. I think Carter benefits the most if he can put himself in a position to push for the starting spot.
Don't forget Carter.
Or is it I don't think it's Barwin. I think Barwin will be situational. I think your guys are Martin and Carter. Now I also think that it could be a situation with Betcha where maybe it's not Carter off the bat, but maybe it's Carter in pass rushing situations and Martin on first down against certain packages where it looks more of you're going against a run package against the offense. So I think that you can see Betcha, who's really good at using the players that he has, not really based in scheme, but based on what the offense is trying to do and matching up and creating problems for them. I think that you'll see Carter and Martin both used early, but I hope, and I think all Giant fans could hope because he's a rookie and there's upside with him, is that Carter can take the position and run with it. I mean, I think that's what we all want.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for taking my call.
Hey, Messi, you called in wanting to fight with me, and we ended up being best friends.
What happened?
Well, I wanted to get to my number one issue about an argument we had a few months ago, but unfortunately, I don't have time to get to that point. So
we'll get to it, buddy. We'll get to it. You call in again next week on Wednesday night. We'll get to it. We'll save a spot for you. You can pick a fight with me. It'll be a good time. Okay?
There we go.
Appreciate you calling in, Chris.
Awesome, man. You guys have a good one.
You too, buddy. Thanks for calling.
Someone commented, giving Captain Negative a solo show might be dangerous. We all agree on that one.
So far, I think giving Captain Negative a solo show is definitely not something that we want to probably do. We need a second voice. You need a yin to my yang.
We need. Oh, you're stealing the words right out of my mouth. There's a little sad bit of news in our world.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Rest in peace, Nikolai Volkov.
Nikolai Volkov. How about that, man? Sad day. Sad day. And I've been using this picture a lot to send to a lot of Trump voters lately.
It's a classic.
It's a classic one. It's a great one. Mm-hmm.
And sending our best wishes out to, Mia Khalifa, who took a hockey puck to the chest and it burst her implant.
Who?
So,
who?
Your girlfriend.
No. No,
yeah.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, that really happened. She went under surgery today to get the implant
wishes
revived.
To her boobs.
Yes.
Oh my! It bursted. That's dangerous, isn't it? You can get that. That's dangerous shit.
That can be dangerous. I don't think it was that serious, but that can be dangerous. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hope her and her breasts end up being okay.
I keep going back and forth. Is she hot or is she not? I don't know.
But regardless, we wish people
not for everyone. Not for everyone.
It's who's your cup of tea. It's all about who your cup of tea is.
Regardless, sending the best wishes of recovery out there.
Are you a William Gay guy or are you a Dante Dion guy? I mean, it's whatever your cup of tea is. You can go. So many ways to go.
Exactly. We all know that you're a Dante Dion type of guy.
I am all over. I love him, man. I called him before the season. I had big hope. He's one of those guys that he just plays hard. He seems to be all around. He seems to be always around the ball, and he just isn't afraid. He's a little guy. He's scrappy. He'll come up. He'll make a hit. I don't know how long he'll last during the course of the season, but I know that you'll get 115% every time that kid's on the field, and that goes a long way. And if you surround him with the right players where the kid has a role and you're not counting on him to be an outside corner, and you can say, hey, we're going to match you up in the slot, and that's going to be your role in this defense, I think then you take advantage of somebody's, God-given abilities, and I think that role fits him really well. I think that's his perfect role.
You know who he kind of reminds me of a former Giant who I thought was a very underrated corner but had that scrappiness, but, injury bug here and there. Tremaine McBride.
Who's that?
Remember Tremaine McBride?
But he couldn't. Yeah, but he couldn't stay on, and that's my concern about Dante, because he's 5'8", $175, maybe $185, if that. He's but how long can he endure in the NFL with those huge bodies flying around? But for what he brings. He's got a nose for the ball. He covers really well. He's scrappy. He's not going to be intimidated by anybody. He's going to stick his nose in there. And when you surround that with players, like Ogletree and Collins and Jenkins, and you can use a scrappy little guy like that sometimes. He becomes a firecracker. And I think they can use that. And I'm hoping that the hammy really isn't that big of a deal.
You ready to go back to the calls? Here we go. Ready?
Yeah, let's bring somebody on the line. Yeah,
it's a familiar number. I don't know exactly who it is. 917. Are you there? What's up?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Ned, are you not in work?
Guy.
Yeah, only on weekdays. I'm good.
How about this guy calling in on a Sunday evening?
Sunday evening, sitting back, relaxing, feet are up. Reading about your Giants. Is that what's going on right now?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the. I don't know how heavily you guys have been following the training camp, but apparently Barkley is doing really well in terms of picking up on that blitz, and I think that bodes well for protecting Eli in the future. They had a play where...
I wonder if he could play tackle.
I think he's underweight for that.
They had a play where someone got
Collins?
when Collins got in unguarded, and he blocked him and set him up really well. In fact, I think they have the highlight of it on their Twitter, actually.
Yeah, he stepped, and then Eli was able to step up. He hit Shepard downfield, who looks. There's another guy who looks really good as well, Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram. But yeah, I mean, you knew you were getting that from Barkley. Barkley is used to playing out of the read option, right? So he's out of the shotgun. So he's used to making those reads to see where the blitz is coming, stepping up and doing that. I mean, we knew Barkley that's one thing that I think that was very attractive about Barkley was a prospect, was his ability to come in day one and not only catch the ball, but pass protect. And he has decided to do it. You want a guy that's stout down low. You look at his legs, they're tree trunks, and he has the ability to dig in, hold his ground and stonewall somebody. And that's huge, and I think that's going to be big in situations. The question is can the guys up front block in that situation? I think that I have more confidence right now in Barkley as a rookie stepping up one-on-one. As long as he gets the read right physically, I have the utmost confidence in him being able to physically step in and pick up the blitz. I have more questions about the offensive line itself.
Yeah, I would.
I mean,
I just want to get the season going. I want to see
guys. Barkley's a stud. I mean, let's be completely honest. I mean, it was never a matter of the kid's talent. It was the kid has the talent to be as great as he wants to be, and it seems like he has the work ethic and the head on his shoulder to be as good as he wants to be, and to be hopefully one of the best running backs in the league. It was never about that. It was about where we were taking him and the value of that second pick. And he's a complete back. We're going to see if he can run between the tackles, how he adjusts to running with a fullback in front of him, how he adjusts running when there's a quarterback on the center as opposed to out of the shotgun. But those are questions that, hopefully there's a positive. But you're getting a good, solid prospect. You're getting a good running back that is going to play 3 downs from day one.
I want to get your opinion on this. What do you think about the holdout across town?
I think that when we spoke of, it's funny you asked me that. I was hoping somebody would ask me that because I thought Justin would come on and bust my chops about Darnold being held out. And I think that what that goes to is we spoke about during the season is a lot of the production, especially early, and how some of these guys' careers will go is going to be dependent on the franchise that they go to. Because some franchises are a complete cluster and some franchises are run really well. Case in point, look at Lamar Jackson and look at Sam Darnold. There is no reason why any rookie quarterback or any rookie player should be holding out anymore because of the fact that these guys are slotted in salary-wise. So I think it's a complete and abject failure of the franchise I don't put it. I mean, Darnold's agent is Darnold's agent. Darnold as a player is Darnold. Those guys, of course, they want the 5th year. They want the option year. If the Jets if you didn't have the conversations with Darnold from before the draft, if you weren't talking to his agent from before the draft, what are you doing? I mean, there's no reason for this right now. It's on the Jets. And then look at Lamar Jackson.
To defend them, they didn't think he was going to be there. They didn't think he was going to be there.
But you have to plan for every you have to plan for every circumstance, right? I mean,
so what did you say about being a good franchise and a bad franchise?
Well, yeah, exactly.
There you go.
And there you go.
I'm not 100% caught up on Darnold's holdout, but is it something like the Roquan Smith thing where the Jets are just trying to leave out critical wording in his contract?
I don't know. I'll tell you the truth. You want to know the complete truth, Ned? I have no clue what it is. All I have read is that Darnold is not signed. I won't even click on it to see what the reason is because to me, there is no reason. It is on the Jets. If you cannot get your 1st round pick, your number 3, where the salary is slotted into camp on time, knowing that he is the future of your franchise, then something is wrong.
Absolutely.
Something is wrong in the front office. Yeah, something
missing
is
the first
wrong.
week.
Something
wrong.
Going. Yeah. So I mean, what's going on? Who's making decisions? Who's pulling the trigger? I mean, what's going on? I mean, do what you got to do to get the kid in camp. I mean, you can't get that done? Give me a break. There's a reason why Kirk Cousins chose to go to Minnesota.
There is a reason why he chose to go to Minnesota. Excellent.
And look at the difference of a Lamar Jackson. And do you hear anything about Josh Rosen? Those guys are in camp, they're playing. Even Baker Mayfield in camp playing. Even though he's struggling, even Allen in camp playing. I mean, pretty silent amongst that front. And it's the Browns. The Browns even got that one right.
Yeah, I mean,
you heard they got themselves a little quarterback Winnebago?
I mean, have you heard about
a little quarterback RV? You heard that about the Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody else allowed.
That translates to
good
win.
for them.
I swear, there's just a giant pillow fort or something in there.
Any questions on YouTube or Facebook?
Have you guys heard about the, are you guys familiar with, what's going on with the Roquan Smith thing with the Bears?
Yes. He wants the Bears to pay for penalties if he yells head-to-head contact.
No, I mean, that it's not it. They just want it to make sure that they don't take away his guaranteed money if he gets suspended because of the lowering the helmet rule, which Like, the fact that they aren't willing to do that, kind of, like, that's incredibly stupid on the Bears' part, in my opinion. I think
I really don't even give a shit either way what happens because it's the Bears. I can give a fuck what they do.
Fair enough.
All right. Someone wants us to talk about, did we see the USA Today prediction? Did anyone see the USA Today prediction?
No, tell us about the USA Today. What's the prediction?
USA Today has us at 7-9.
Legit. Right where we figured.
I think we're going to be around that 8-8 mark.
Yeah.
I can see a game here, a game there.
I know. Don't get mad, Giant fans, when you see those type of things. You were 3-13 last year. Yeah, I mean, let's put things into perspective. I know a lot of people think that, you add this piece, you add that piece. Super Bowl, yeah. No team has ever won 3 games in a season and gone to the Super Bowl the following year. So, let's look to. We want this team to be competitive. How about this? How about being competitive in games? Let's just step forward. Just because last year they were just not competitive. How about some fourth quarter games this year where you're in it and you're competing down the stretch and the games are good and this team is learning to win again and being competitive to win again. I think if this team can get to around 8-8 and have a couple of chances where, a ball can bounce or tip or bounce their way where they can get to 10-6 and maybe sneak in, great. But I think that you need to set your expectations there. Coming out of the gate, those are 4 tough games, Giant fans. Tough games. Look at those games.
If we go 8-8 and we're competitive and we don't have 4-game losing streaks and like down in speculation and all the other things, I'm cool with that.
I would love to see that come out of the first 2 games. They can come out of the first 2 games 2-2. I'll be ecstatic.
First 4 games.
I'd love for them to find a way to come out of the first 2 games 2-2. Preferably winning the Cowboy game because it's a division game, and I don't care what other game. If you gave me a choice between the other games, I would say give me the Saints game because it's an NFC game. So 2-2 would be, phenomenal to come out of the first month.
If they can win against the Jaguars, which I know is incredibly unlikely, that would be a big confidence booster and really kind of make
100%. Yeah, well, if you can win that game, now you're trying to push 3-1. You want to come out, but let's assume that the Jaguars have a better team and find a way to win that day. If you told me coming out of the first month of the season that the Giants would be 2-2, I'd be thrilled looking at those first 4 games. And then if you told me what games are they going to win, I would pray that they would be the 2 NFC games because if you're going to be 9-7 or 10-6 and get a bounce here or there, then you want those wins against those NFC teams that could be pushing for the same spot. So, that's the goal. Come out 2-2 in the first month.
I don't expect it, but I think it's perfectly possible that they could end up being a wild card spot.
Who knows?
If you're floating around that 8, if you're floating around that, 8-500, 8-18, bounces happen.
Yeah, man. If you could be 6-6 going into the last month of the season, somewhere around there, those games in December are going to mean something, and that's what you want. You want meaningful games in December where you can potentially get on a little bit of a hot streak and get yourself into the playoffs. And they're going to have a tough time. There's a tough schedule. But that's why it's important that they come out of the gate. You don't want to come out of the gate 0-4, guys. That's just, whew. But when you look at that schedule, yikes, man! You could see you could see where they are markedly better than last year, and still come out of that first month at 0-4.
Mm-hmm.
That's a distinct possibility.
You know what I wonder? Yeah, you know what I wanted to look up, James?
Can I run this by you guys? Because I heard this talked about on TV, and I wanted to hear what you guys would think about it. What do you think about Barkley returning kickoffs?
I hate it. Barkley and Beckham should not be returning kicks. Hate it. Awful. God awful. Let's see Jason Sehorn. Enough. There's certain guys that are so talented. You got third and fourth team guys playing special teams, looking to make a name for themselves, looking to light people up, and what a better way is to take out Barkley or take out Beckham or no, it's just too dangerous back there. Now, if you want to tell me that in certain situations in the fourth quarter we're down by 10, and maybe we just score, and or they're in a situation where the other team comes down and gets a field goal, and now you're down, and there's like maybe 2 minutes left in the game, and you're looking for the biggest return you can. You're within a score, trying to get in field goal range or score for a touchdown, and you want to use them there. Fine. In that scenario, where you're getting the ball back and it's a punt and you need to throw them back there because you need a good return in the fourth quarter, fine, because of the scenario. Not on a regular basis. There's no need for it. You could find a specialist to do that. Personally, I don't give a shit about punt returns. Find me a guy that'll fair catch and catch the ball so we get possession. Just catch it. Find me a guy that'll catch the ball.
James, you know what I want to talk about? You know the guys that hit us up on Twitter, Statement Team?
Yeah, what's that all about? What is that?
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. Established in 2017, Statement Games has positioned itself as a provider of fantasy sports games. Our mission is taking fantasy sports to the next level.
Ooh.
End users presented with 50 statements that pertain to a game. Eli Manning over 250 yards, Eli Manning under 250 passing yards. Dallas defense over 1.5 sacks, Dallas defense under 1.5 sacks. Oh, so I think you fantasy bet those statements.
Oh, you just make statements of what's going to happen in the game. Eli Manning's going to throw for 2 touchdowns. Eli Manning's going to throw for 3 touchdowns. Eli Manning will throw 2 picks.
Yeah. Join your league, play over a course of a single or multiple games. Before each professional contest, make your statements and then rank them in the strength and order. Oh, and then you rank them. Earn points for each of your accurate statements on each game or contest, and know your standings. Yeah, let's do this as a crew.
We could do that. That sounds fun.
Yeah, we could kick Sean Lynn out of his ass.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell him it's on.
Have him on to tell him about it.
Yeah, tell him it's on.
We will.
Is the intern going to beat you again?
This is different. This is different.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let's see what else there is. Jaguars. Steve M says, yep, the Jaguars are very beatable. Nah, it could happen. Blake could throw for 3 picks easy. That's true.
You know what, though? It's the physical. You got a team here that's changing schemes with the Giants. And, are we rooting for the Giants to win? Yes. Do we hope it's a close game and the Giants can pull it out at the end? Yes. But when you look at the way the Jacksonville Jaguars played, it's the same scheme they have. It's pretty much the same team. They've gotten probably a little bit better. So you say to yourself, if you're a Giant fan, are you disappointed if the Giants play them tooth and nail and maybe, Jacksonville makes a play at the end and ends up winning the game? I'd be thrilled if they competed with Jacksonville to the point where that's a game at the end of it. Because I think Jacksonville physically is just a better football team than we are. Physically.
Mm-hmm.
From the
but having said that,
roster.
Having said that, I think I'm going to like Betcher's scheme. All the beat reporters are saying that they're flying around there. You don't know where the blitzes are coming from, and they're sending them.
Well, let's hope it's Betcher's scheme and not the offensive line that they're going against, right? I mean, that's my concern. Is like if the Giants' offensive line is a clusterfuck, then Betcher's scheme better look really good in practice. And that's the question I have: is it right now, from what we're hearing in practice, is it the quality of the defense or the lack of quality of the offense? It's a valid question to ask this early in camp. And the scary part of it is you're not going to know until Jacksonville. You hope the reports are is that the line gets better and they start holding up and Betch's scheme now is getting a little, they start stonewalling it a little bit. But, as of right now, that's the main question I have is how good is the front 7 and how bad is that front 5?
Yes. All the anticipation is building up.
Oh, man, it's great. We got football coming. It's phenomenal. Break this shit down every week, talk about this stuff every week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And they should be a lot more competitive than they were last year. So hopefully the games are better and a lot more fun to break down and watch.
Is Eli better than Blake Bortles? From Anthony Davis.
Yes. Yeah, Eli's better than Blake Bortles.
That's an easy question for me. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Even, let's see what else we got. Which Eli are we getting? That's pretty funny, actually.
Well, there's a $1 million question right there. There's your $1 million question.
All right.
Which Eli are we getting? That's, throw the ball, behind you, Eli, or, clutch Eli. There's the $1 million question right there. That's the difference between 11 and 5 and 7 and 9.
All right, we got 10 more minutes on this sucker. We got 10 more minutes on this before we wrap it up.
Nice little impromptu
Yeah, jump on, see what people are doing.
There. Yeah, a little Sunday night talk, a little Giant talk.
Jags are going to have a terrible passing attack. They have 0 wide receivers and tight ends.
You don't need wide receivers to win football games, guys. You don't need wide receivers to win football games.
They have an excellent offensive line and an excellent running back. So
if I'm looking at 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3, I don't need phenomenal wide receivers. I just need guys that can catch the ball.
Or you just need Fournette to run it.
David Doherty, ready? Andrew Adams, opinions there. I don't know. He's in a battle.
I got high hopes right now. I got high hopes right now for Riley.
Mhm.
That's the guy really that I'm cheering for is Curtis Riley. I'm hoping that this kid can come along and take the spot. I think that he has some upside. He has some playmaking ability. Plays with a little bit of an edge. I like Adams. I think we've had him on the show. We like him, but between him and Thompson, I'm not sold. And I'd love to see somebody just take that job. I mean, I'd love to see either one of them take the job. But if it was going to ask me which guy, it's Riley. Give me Curtis Riley. I hope he takes it. I hope he just grabs it.
Who do you think's in the driver's seat right now? Thompson, right?
Well, Riley supposedly got some reps with the first team. So I think that it's fluid right now. I think that they'll probably move it around a couple of times. But if they were starting a game right now, day one, tomorrow, I think that Thompson would get the start.
You guys have any opinions about Lorenzo Carter? Yes.
High hopes.
Yeah, same here.
High hopes on Carter. We're hearing a lot of good things. I think the most positive thing I'm hearing about Carter is, and I think that when you look at him, you say, okay, you knew he had the physical tools. You just knew it was going to be a little bit of a project. I think things that we were hearing about Carter, especially today, that came out is that he has really taken to the veterans on the team, the guys who have done it before, especially Barwin. Supposedly he's really taken to Connor Barwin, and Barwin's taken to him, and they are working together, night and day. So, high hopes for this kid that the brain catches up to that body, because we can use him on the outside, creating some havoc this season on defense.
Mhm. Hold on. Oh, look who's joining in, huh? Look who's calling in a little late.
Uh-oh. Is it Tim? Did
Timmy.
he wake up from his hangover nap?
What's going on?
Timmy, you were hibernating like a bear.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on? Oh,
what's up,
we have a show?
Welcome, Tim. Welcome to the Sunday morning podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
What's up, buddy? How you been?
I've been well.
You always been well?
Yeah, I've been drinking a little too much yesterday. So that's reason I slept through the 10 o'clock show. I woke up
Sunday morning.
I woke up at noon. So
technically for Tim, it is Sunday morning. And the callers are like, whoa, is he in England? And you're like, no, he's in North Carolina.
No, he's fine. Tim, so what was the drink of choice? What did you win?
Well, it was actually a beer and bourbon festival.
Well, those are never a good time.
So it was literally 6 hours of drinking what you want and anything you want.
One bourbon, one scotch. One
beer. But yeah, there was a lot of bourbon going down because I'm not worried about beer if I'm getting it for free.
You're not going there for the beer. You're going there for the bourbon. If it's free, it's the bourbon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for you, Tim.
Tim,
myself, Dante Dion talk.
Tim, myself, I'm a maker's man. But you know.
Yeah, I do like Maker's Mark. I'm not gonna lie, I do like it. But I like
you're not a sponsor of the show,
I like
by the way?
Buffalo Trace.
That's a free plug.
They're not a sponsor of the show yet.
That's a free plug.
Yeah. I do like Buffalo Trace. If you want to go that way.
Also, we got a lot of compliments on Pepper Johnson interview.
Pepper Marshall.
Pepper Marshall's interview as well. They like that one too.
That was a good one.
I did hear some of the show, guys, and I just want to say I absolutely agree with James. I think Curtis Riley is going to be the wild card as far as
Curtis Riley. Tim, some of these names that you're hearing, right? Some of we said like coming in, like it's about some of these names. Who's going to round out this roster? And guys like Dion, guys like Riley, starting to make a little bit of a name for themselves.
You know, who's going to be Dion? I like, but I don't want him being our number 3.
Oh, I do. Mm-hmm. I think he's perfect for it. I don't want to get on number 2.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Go.
Who do you think is going to be the surprise cut, like the odd man out?
Flowers if he doesn't get it together.
Who do you say?
Flowers if he doesn't get it together.
Nobody's stepping up on the second team either.
I can see somebody else getting cut from another team, and the Giants releasing Flowers and bringing somebody else in.
Well, from what I'm hearing, as far as the offensive line, and
I wish I had a third-round pick that I could trade for a tackle.
Oh God! First of all, relax. We still have that pick. He still had a first-round grade. He would have been a first-round grade going to next year's draft anyway. So it's like we had to pick early. So the nice part is he gets to study up for a year before we get him. Whatever.
I got news for you guys. If Curtis Riley comes along, one of your surprise cuts can be Adams or Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It would almost have to be, but the thing is, I think, especially Adams, he's versatile enough to play both strong safety and free. So it might be Thompson.
It may be.
I don't know. For some reason, I think it might be Roger Lewis.
Who's this other kid?
It's my Hughes boy.
Etta James? Who's that?
Etta James is coming on strong. At last, Etta James is finally playing well.
Yeah, at last. Etta James has shown up to take the third wide receiver spot.
No, but Cody Latimer's playing well. They brought him in. As soon as they brought him in, he had it. Lewis had it in like, wait a minute, that's supposed to be my spot.
I think they're going to use. I don't think there's going to be one legitimate number 3 wide receiver. I think that they're going to use. Yeah, I think that it's going to be. I think when they move Beckham into the slot, that they're going to probably use Latimer because he's a bigger guy on the outside, so you can still run the ball and get that blocker to the outside. He's more of a possession receiver, so you put that guy on the outside. If you're playing against the Redskins, you put him on Josh Norman's side, and you say, now, go ahead, spend your fucking time covering Cody Latimer. I'm not throwing it to him anyway, right? Mm-hmm. So I think you can match up that way. I think that you can use Ingram. I think that you can use Barkley, especially if Gallman is. So far, I've heard some reports that Gallman looks really good. So. Are there packages where you can bring Gallman into the game and not take Barkley off the field and put Barkley in the slot? I also saw something last year where Shermer, used McKinnon as a wide receiver on a bunch of snaps. So are there packages where you can use your third wide receiver as Barkley? I mean, the more options you have, the better. So, if they could find this kid, Etta James comes along,
Like we said.
But,
the more playmakers you have.
the thing is, like you said, Evan Ingram can easily. They can bring in Rhett Ellison to play the tight end spot. Evan Ingram can play the third wide receiver. It's not like
plenty of different options.
Yep.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be an issue.
No, they can get creative, and that's what they need. They needed a creative
And the nice
mind.
part is we don't have to go three wide receiver set every down.
My question is, are they going to be able to block? That's the question, guys. Right now, the only guy on the line that I have confidence in right now is the rookie, Hernandez. I don't have any confidence, including Solder, until I see it on the field on Sunday. Let's see what happens.
Well, I'm liking what I'm hearing as far as the defense. All three levels of the defense is getting after.
Well, that's the question I have, Tim. Is the question I had for Marco, and we spoke about it before, is it because we're hearing reports that the defense is running roughshod. Well, is the defense that good, or is the offensive line that bad? There's the question that I have.
I think there's a lot of competition on the defense, so I think everybody has to step up.
I hope you're right.
There's guys like Lorenzo Carter who are trying to, show people who he is. There's also guys like Connor Barwin who are, on the last legs of his career, but he still has talent and wants to make sure he makes the team. And there's guys like
are the guys on the offensive line not trying?
Yeah.
Look who showed up now as well.
Is it NyQuil guy?
No, it's not the NyQuil guy.
No, it's not the NyQuil guy. I'm running the floor by myself over here.
I'm sorry.
My computer's running so hot I can get a tan from it, okay?
Man, you got to build that computer I sent you, man.
Radioactive.
Yeah, what happened to that? What happened to Magic Dragons?
I got super big
image dragons.
I'm working that.
Keep working.
Have
you guys talked about? I'm sure James has mentioned this already, but you guys been hearing how good D Squared's been doing in training camp?
No, he's been doing good.
Oh, he's been doing fantastic. I've been watching training camp live. Oh my god, he's doing great, dude. He's really physical. He's a lot more physical than I thought he'd be. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be like our number. I'm not making a bold prediction saying he's going to be number 2, but I have no doubt in my mind he's going to make the roster, and I think he's going to take over the slot. I think he's doing great.
Listen,
he's having a pretty good camp.
James,
he's been locking up.
James Jr.
locking up. I'm being serious. You haven't been watching the camp. I've been watching the camp. I'm watching this guy make plays.
I'm glad you're watching guys that aren't tackling. Good for you.
Well, I know. Oh, no, okay, but you don't have to tackle to play a good cornerback.
But you know what? You do have.
You don't have to tackle to cover well.
When you're 5'8", 150 pounds, you better know how to tackle.
Okay, I understand. We haven't seen tackling yet.
I got news for you. Out of all the things I'm worried about with Dante Dion, it's not tackling. That kid will stick his nose in to make a play. He is not scared of anybody.
I'm just saying. I'm drinking a little bit of James. Whatever Kool-Aid James has been drinking.
He'll be able to see
whatever
play.
No, I mean
whatever Kool-Aid James has been drinking on Dante Dion, cool. I'm drinking it too, man.
It's really not Kool-Aid. It's I watched him play.
I get it. The guy's he's gritty.
Every time it's easy to buy in when a kid who's 5'8" sticks his nose in and is fired up and is running around the football field. It's easy to buy in. It's called having a little heart. You buy into a kid's heart. I mean, that's what this team needs.
Yeah. He's gritty, man.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Dion just twist his?
Oh, what's up, man?
He tweaked his hammy. But he tweaked his hammy, making a hell of an interception.
Why are you yelling?
I still hope it's better.
It's about D-Squad.
I'll tell you what, somebody else that I'm pretty excited about is doing really good training camp, Davis Webb. Also pretty excited about that.
Yeah, we spoke about the Webb swinger.
You're about an hour late on all these predictions that you've been saying that we've went over about.
Really? Yeah, I'm sorry. I had something really important come up. I had to take care of it. All right. Vehicle problem.
Did you have to order some awkward topping pizza, or what was that?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. I forgot about that day. I totally forgot about that day. No, it's a vehicle problem. First off, if you put pineapple on a pizza, you're weird. All right? No.
It's not bad, guys.
No.
I'm gonna tell you. No, it's not bad.
It's fucking disgusting.
Weird.
Get off the line, Tim.
Tim, you have a lot of bourbon running through your system at the present moment. We won't
That's
talk
that North
about
Carolina
pineapple
shit right now. Tim dips the pineapples in bourbon and then puts them in pizza.
Hey, let me ask you guys something. All right, so I'm not sure how official our roster is yet, but as a training camp, John Jerry has been taking a lot of the snaps with the ones. Do you guys have any faith in John Jerry at all?
I don't know if I have faith in anybody on the offensive line at all.
Whose spot are you taking out in the one?
I don't know who was playing right guard before. I thought Amame was going to be playing right guard, but Jerry's been playing right guard with the ones, and I don't like it.
No,
I really wouldn't put much stock into who's playing who where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really.
And by the way, it's Amba Editawo.
At this point, I really would not put any stock into who's with the first team or second team. I think that's going to change a lot between now and the first game of the season.
True. Yeah, especially once preseason starts.
Yeah. I mean, is Hernandez practicing with the ones?
Yeah, he is.
Letting him own it a little bit. He is?
No, he's with the ones. Saquon surprisingly isn't taking as much number one snaps as I thought he would. I'm seeing Jonathan Stewart work a lot of them. But he's going to, yeah. I'm not surprised. He's going to. We don't draft him number 2 overall to be number 2 in our depth chart. That's not happening.
Especially with Jonathan fucking Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart is our number 1.
Jonathan Stewart.
I think he's going to be our goal line number 1.
Fucking.
He'll be our goal line
2012. No, he won't.
No, he won't.
So?
Saquon's going to be our goal line.
Saquon's bigger.
Probably, no, I mean
Saquon can do it.
The only time, guys, you drafted Saquon number 2. The only time Saquon shouldn't touch the ball is when he can't breathe.
He's tired.
Yeah. I mean, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm not taking him off the field for Jonathan Stewart, who led the league in fumbles last year on limited carries, and I'm not taking him off the field for Wayne Gallman. He had like four lost fumbles last year.
I didn't even know that.
And the other thing I don't like about Stewart is he had like 3 catches last year, all fucking season. I mean, so you put him in the game, and it's like, oh, yeah, guess what?
Well, to be fair, they had drafted Christian McCaffrey. There was no way they were ever going to throw him the ball when they had Christian McCaffrey.
No, it's not about that, dude. You could have McCaffrey on your team, but with the minute McCaffrey goes, when you put Stewart in the game, you want to be able to say that you're not one-dimensional. And when you have a guy in there that can't catch the football, the defense gets to go, guess what? They're not throwing the running back the ball.
To run, yeah.
You know, I mean, so there's no other option. There's no threat of anything. I don't want Stewart on the field unless Saquon Barkley cannot breathe. That's it. Like that's I want to see what the kid can do. You got a 4 to 5 year span with this running back where you're going to get the legs out of him. You don't waste time. Not with a rookie running back. You drafted a kid, let him play. You let him run and run and run until he can't run no more. Wear him out.
I heard you guys talking about Lorenzo Carter, man. I'm excited for him.
Oh, God. Let him play first.
Well, the thing I was saying that I like about Carter is that the thing I like about Carter that I think is the most positive thing we've heard so far is the fact that he is surrounding himself with the right people. He is a sponge right now. He's studying with the veterans. He's asking questions. He's listening. He's watching. So, all positives right now. And then it looks like from the work that he's doing off the field that it's reflecting on the field and the lights going off a little faster from what you're seeing and from what you're reading. So, all good. And then the other huge part, Tim, that we spoke about was so far so good, no injuries.
Yeah. And that's literally what we have to sweat out this next month. Is literally just being hoping a Giants guy does not come across the damn wire. All of a sudden he's getting carted off the field.
Correct.
That's all we care.
Gentlemen, I got a question for you because I have to go. Do you want to keep this current setup and you guys take it over and just text me when you're done, or you want to wrap it up?
I'm wrapping up.
Do you have the energy in you to go a little more?
With the wife.
Let me keep going then. You guys get off. I'll keep going. I just got here. I'm ready to keep going. I'll take some phone calls, answer some questions.
It's going to be the Todd show?
I'm ready to go.
All right. You should have been on about an hour ago. But, so then let's wrap it up.
Sunday night with the internet.
Well, I mean, I can end the show when I want. I'm on it right now, so I can end it if you want to leave.
It's
I can end it.
Sunday night with Todd.
We have to use Different Strokes theme song in there and start playing it. We got to cut that one up.
Oh, will we get banned though? Will they shut it down?
I don't know. Maybe what you talking about, Willis? We could throw that in there, right?
Different strokes to take, different strokes to rule the world.
Keep saying it.
All right, gentlemen. So Wednesday, as planned.
Wednesday is planned. There should be some more news, some more Giants stuff. Bleed Big Blue, Giants fans.
Should we try to get a guest on for Wednesday?
Ooh, that's a good question. How about a beat writer?
How about Odell Beckham?
Oh yeah.
Good luck. I'll reach out to him.
Aim high.
We should get that guy from your it's probably NJ.com. He's on here quite a bit.
Don't leave it.
Fuck, what's his name?
James, you think Pat would come on?
I can reach out to Pat. I can reach out to Russell Baxter. I could reach out to a couple of people. I'm gonna send Dante Dion a message too, see if we can get lucky and get him to come on.
Get Ben McAdoo? Somebody said get Ben McAdoo.
We'll get Ben McAdoo to come on.
Please get McAdoo on the show.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, listeners and everyone, throw out your feelers to message them for me and do a little legwork, and we'll get these people on.
All right.
Yeah, even if maybe we could book two. We'll have a double guest. Boom, boom.
Let's pay a couple $1,000 to get Edric Rosas on here.
Boom. Exactly.
Get back McAdoo. That's it. Pepper Marshall. Yes,
all right,
get Pepper
guys.
Marshall on. All right, everyone.
Pepper
hit that
Marshall.
subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And we will talk to you Wednesday, and we'll probably have a few videos out during the week. I have a few on the back burner. All right, everyone. Peace out.
Unless I'm staying. Should have let me stay, man.
You're doing an intern show, huh?
I'm serious. I could do it. Just sit there and talk with everybody. It'd be fun. Answer questions.